Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Huanxi Youth. Duozi Duofu, starting from Song Qian, crossing the world of comprehensive shadows, Qin Feng awakened the system of multiple suns and blessings. The originally peaceful college life has also become busy. Landlord Song Qian. Qin Feng, can you come and help me fix the air conditioning? Pei Yin. Qin Feng, how do you turn on this computer? Can you teach me how to do it? Tong Wenjie said, Qin Feng, copying documents is so difficult. Can you provide on-site guidance? Su Hongdo said, Qin Feng, our hotel system needs to be upgraded again. Lin Miao Miao, Zhu Suasua, Jiang Nan Sun, Zhou Lin Lin, Zhu Yun, Li Na, Gu Jia, Wang Mani. Qin Feng, come and help us quickly. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Auntie, it was you who took the initiative to invite me to drink. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Auntie, you took the initiative to invite me to drink. New book Kneeling for Flower monthly pass and evaluation ticket. The morning sunshine, sprinkled on Qin Feng's face. Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes, looking around with some confusion. He said, this shouldn't be my room. Just about to get up, only then did I realize that my right hand was being held in someone's arms. Turning around to take a look, the woman holding her right hand is actually the landlord Song Qian. What situation is this? Qin Feng was stunned for a moment, then began to recall. 10 days ago, Qin Feng arrived at the imperial capital with his admission letter, prepared to travel for a few days, and then register for Tsinghua University. Because I have a slight cleanliness obsession, I don't want to live in school dormitories, so, Qin Feng searched for 2 days. Finally, I arrived at Shuxiang Yayuan. Here, it's only a little over half an hour's drive from Qingbei University, direct bus service. It's very convenient to go to and from school. Moreover, the environment of the community is also good, with supporting facilities such as a small supermarket, coffee shop, and gym downstairs. So, Qin Feng decisively decided on the house here, and signed a 2-year lease agreement with landlord Song Qian, with a deposit of 3-1, and the rent to be paid before the 10th of each month. After renting the house, Qin Feng began to travel, visiting attractions such as Badaling, the Forbidden City, and Princess's Tomb. Last night, Qin Feng finished the last scenic spot. I originally wanted to drink some alcohol in the music bar downstairs to relieve fatigue. Then, I met Song Qian, who was drinking alone. Seeing the Qin wind, Song Qian waved her hand and asked Qin Feng to accompany her for a drink. Drinking, both of them were a bit drunk. Qin Feng vaguely remembers, I helped Song Qian into the elevator and opened the door. However, what happened afterwards, Qin Feng really doesn't have much impression anymore. This will, Song Qian is still asleep, her pretty profile was facing Qin Feng, and her thick eyelashes were still trembling slightly, fair skin, slim waist and limbs. He curled up like a baby, holding Qin Feng's right hand in his arms. To be honest, although Song Qian is no longer a girl, but it is well maintained, the skin is delicate, the facial features are delicate, and the figure is also perfect, so no matter what happened last night, Qin Feng was actually not at a disadvantage. With a slight smile, Qin Feng was preparing to slowly withdraw his right hand, but the system prompt sound rang in my mind, ding. The host has awakened and the Duozi Duofu system is binding. Many children and many blessings. Qin Feng was slightly surprised when he heard these words. The system automatically explained, yes, the host, many children and many blessings. The host only needs to sow, bloom and bear fruit, and can receive various rewards. Generally, the reward during sowing is relatively small, but when the melon is ripe, it will receive a larger reward. Rewards include but are not limited to funds, luxury cars, advanced technology, physical skills, etc. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the newbie reward talent. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving the newbie reward and strengthening their physical fitness. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving a beginner reward of 10 million soft girl coins. Ding. The host has already sewed once and received a reward for the latest Rolls-Royce Cullinan. The car has been parked in the garage, and the key is in the host's own room. Listening to the continuous sound of system prompts, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel that his body had changed. Originally, Qin Feng, who is 1.85 meters tall and weighs 150 pounds, has a slightly lean physique, but at this moment, Qin Feng clearly felt that his body was full of strength, the muscle lines are much fuller, the abdominal muscles are even clearer and more enticing like a washboard. Subsequently, the nearby phone suddenly rang with a text message prompt sound. Qin Feng was just about to reach out for his phone. Song Qian beside her let out a whimper and slowly opened her eyes, then, Song Qian screamed, but immediately covered her mouth, looking in surprise at Qin Feng in front of him. The Qin wind is like this, helplessly shaking her head and smiling. Landlord Auntie, you took the initiative to invite me to drink last night. Song Qian didn't speak, but still covered her mouth and looked at Qin Feng with extreme caution. The Qin wind is like this, he got up and got dressed, then walked out. Today is the day for freshmen from Tsinghua University to report. Qin Feng is going to report to the school, so he doesn't plan to stay with Song Qian. After all, this happened too suddenly, both sides need time to digest and buffer. If Qin Feng forcibly stays, it may be more of a misunderstanding than embarrassment. It's better to focus on your own affairs first. After Song Qian accepts this matter, she will sit down and chat. Go back to the room. Qin Feng changed into a new set of clothes and brought along his admission letter, ID card, and other documents. When preparing to leave, Qin Feng saw the key to the Cullinan carriage hanging above the shoe rack. After some consideration, Qin Feng still decided to take the bus to school. After all, today is the first day of the new semester. Driving a luxury car worth several million to report to school may seem a bit too pretentious. So, Qin Feng went downstairs and went out. Arriving outside the bus stop, after waiting for a few minutes, I got on the number 6 bus, subsequently, driving in the direction of Qinbei University, amidst the crowds of old men and women. Chapter 2. Handsome. Can Shuai drive a Porsche? Kneel down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Handsome. Can Shuai drive a Porsche? Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. After Qin Feng left, Song Qian is the only one left in the room. And at this moment, Song Qian, I am trying to recall last night's experience. Subsequently, his face turned red, as bright as peach blossoms. Touching the scorching face, Song Qian let out a long sigh and said, Song Qian, why are you so confused? To be honest, Song Qian is not a casual woman. Although holding millions of assets, although I have been divorced for several years, but Song Qian has never been reckless. When I was in a bad mood before, at most, that is to drink alone at the bar downstairs and then go home to continue urging Yingzi to study. These 2 days, Yingzi was taken on a trip by his father. Song Qian indulged a little and drank a few more glasses. But this drink, surprisingly, he drank his own tenant into his own room. Hiccup. After suddenly burping with alcohol, Song Qian frowned and hurriedly fanned the air. However, the appearance of Qin Feng still involuntarily appeared in my mind. To be honest, the sunny, handsome and tall Qin Feng is really good. The tough arms, the chiseling like abdominal muscles. If she were still 17 or 18 years old, she might have really taken the initiative to pursue Qin Feng. But now, her daughter Xiaoyingzi is almost going to college, but she had some things with Qin Feng. This is really difficult to accept. How will she face Qin Feng and Yingzi in the future? Sigh. I let out another sigh. Song Qian patted her head in frustration and said, forget it, let's find a chance to have a good chat with Qin Feng in the future. I really can't drink this wine anymore. When Song Qian reflected on herself at home, Qin Feng struggled through the middle of the old men and women and finally got off the car. Looking up at the main entrance of Qinbei University not far away, Qin Feng wiped the sweat off his face and then walked towards the main door. Today, freshmen report, in the campus of Qinbei, there are crowds of high-speed trains and horses. I didn't go far, it's blocked up ahead. Qin Feng had no choice but to follow the crowd and move slowly forward. I have to say, Qinbei is Qinbei, although there is congestion ahead at this time, but both the crowd and vehicles are following the road, and almost all vehicles comply with the "no honking on campus" rule, slowly following pedestrians. There are too many cars. Wulong and Fengqiu naturally appeared. Qin Feng just finished praising the quality of the car owners behind him. A white Porsche honks its horn wildly, by taking the wrong path, roaring past Qin Feng, directly forcing the car driving normally on the left side to stop. Not long after, another yellow Ferrari forcibly occupies the left lane. Once again, the car driving normally on the left was forced to stop. Seeing the left car not giving way and the crowd being heavy, the Ferrari owner honked the horn directly, drop by drop, drop by drop. It's so noisy. How did you drive? It's illegal to drive in the opposite direction. What horn to honk? It's forbidden to honk on campus, don't you know? The piercing sound of horns, it quickly sparked public anger. The crowd turned around and angrily rebuked the Ferrari owner. The Ferrari owner lowered the car window and extended his left hand to show his middle finger to everyone. This action almost caused public anger. The left car owner saw this and really didn't want to waste time. I had no choice but to step back a bit and make way for Ferrari. Then, Ferrari roared its engine and flew away amidst everyone's scolding. New student report. It took over 3 hours, after clarifying the departments and classes, and paying the tuition fees. Qin Feng also added Counselor Xia Lv's WeChat. Summer Green. This name is a bit familiar. It seems like there was a female teacher named Xia Lv in the TV drama, Youth, tall and slender, with delicate facial features, long hair reaching the waist. It used to be a type that Qin Feng liked. However, at this moment, Xia Lv's avatar is a cartoon cat. Moments have not been opened yet, so, Qin Feng cannot determine the true identity of teacher Xia Lv. After sending her own reporting and identity information to Xia Lv, Qin Feng was pulled into a chat group called, Class 1, Microelectronics Department, Grade 23, subsequently, Xia Lv said in the group, classmates who have already reported today, please gather in classroom 3 before 2 p.m. Let's get to know each other in advance. We need your help with some work. After reading the news, Qin Feng replied, received, and then walked towards the school cafeteria. After 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Qin Feng arrived at classroom 3, then I saw a white Porsche parked directly outside the big classroom. Looking at the license plate, Qin Feng shook his head speechlessly. This guy is really the Wulong from the morning. The thought of studying with Mr. Wulong for 4 years in the future made Qin Feng feel a bit overwhelmed. Stepping into the classroom, Qin Feng's appearance caused a small sensation. At this time, the Qin wind, although wearing loose T-shirts and breeches, but it has a round head and short size, very personality. Combined with handsome facial features and a tall figure, immediately caught the attention of several girls. And one of them was wearing a JK dress with light makeup. A girl with a beauty score of around 8 points exclaimed, "Wow, what a handsome guy." Handsome. Upon hearing this girl's words, the boy wearing the CK logo next to him turned his head to look at Qin Feng. For a moment, his eyes showed a hint of surprise. Then I felt the threat from the Qin wind, the girl next to me. He just talked for a long time and ignored him, but as soon as Qin Feng appeared, he immediately caught the girl's attention. So, the CK man immediately took out the Porsche key from his pocket, put it on your index finger and rotate it. Then, he said disdainfully, "Handsome. Hee, can Handsome drive a Porsche? Can we rent a parking space in our school? I guarantee. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Can we rent a parking space in our school? My Porsche has no place to park. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. Porsche. JK girl heard this and glanced at CK man's car key, then he sneered and said, "Is that Porsche outside the classroom yours?" "That's right." The CK man successfully attracted the attention of the JK woman. He immediately answered, "Does the coming-of-age gift from home look good?" Upon hearing this, JK woman smiled and shook her head, saying, "The old model 718 is just that. If you can hold it to death, it will only cost over 1,000,000 yuan. You can also show your interest in driving it. Also, our school does not allow random parking, and you are not afraid of being directly locked by security guards." Hee. JK's female name is Wang Yao, and she used to be a top student at a certain high school, born into a middle-class family. Although she worships money, she is not foolish. In high school, she aspired to marry into a wealthy family and made a plan for herself to be admitted to the Qin dynasty. So, she only worked so hard in 3 years of high school, successfully making a comeback and becoming the school flower in the eyes of others. After the college entrance examination results are released, Wang Yao, after a comprehensive analysis and comparison, disregarded the opposition of her family and directly chose the microelectronics major. In Wang Yao's view, although microelectronics is a research major, it has extremely broad investment prospects. One reason is that, in recent years, Longhua has vigorously developed the chip industry, and microelectronics professionals are facing challenges and hot topics. Those newly wealthy families will definitely arrange their children to enter the microelectronics industry for further education in order to advance their layout. So, when Wang Yao chose this major, it was equivalent to choosing the children of those wealthy families. Secondly, even if Wang Yao's judgment is wrong and there are no children from wealthy families among these classmates around her, so other classmates or other students in the department, it is also very likely that they will seize the opportunity and become the next rising star with their own abilities and skills. You know, Eagle Sauce's billionaire Mark Zuckerberg and the world's richest man Ma CK started from scratch with their skills and quickly became wealthy. Before coming to school, Wang Yao has already done enough homework, having a clear understanding of the prices of various luxury car brands and models, so with just a glance, she accurately stated the model and price of the Porsche outside the door. Being scolded by Wang Yao, the CK man clearly couldn't hold his face. He turned his head and glared at Qin Feng, but continued to stay by Wang Yao's side with a shameless expression. And at this time, the Qin wind, but he walked straight to the back of the classroom and greeted several boys sitting in the back who were dressed a bit unkempt. "Hello, I am Qin Feng from Southeast Province." "Hello, I'm Lu Jie from Sichuan." "I am Bai Tao, from Northeast China." "I am Yang Nan from Hunan." 4 people introduced themselves to each other. Later, Yang Nan grabbed her head, then he stared at Qin Feng and asked, "Wait a minute, Qin Feng, who is the top scorer in the Southeast Province College entrance examination this year?" "The one who scored full marks in mathematics and deducted 2 points in science and comprehensive science." "Hi." Upon hearing this, Qin Feng smiled and waved his hand, saying, "It's not worth mentioning. We were all admitted to Qin Bei, who isn't a top scorer." Lu Jie looked at Qin Feng and shook his head helplessly. "I'm not." Bai Tao shook his head and said, "I'm almost there. I came in pressing the line." Yang Nan smiled even more directly and said, "All right, among the 4 of us, Qin Feng is the top scorer in the college entrance examination. Southeast Province's top scorer in the college entrance examination. Full marks in mathematics." Listening to Qin Feng and others chatting, Wang Yao looked at Qin Feng with some surprise. Although at this point, Qin Feng was wearing street vendors worth tens of yuan, but obviously, Qin Feng, who has a sunny and handsome appearance and is also the top scorer in the college entrance examination, is likely to be a potential stock. So, Wang Yao silently put alternative labels on Qin Feng in her heart, then he turned around again and chatted with the girl next to him. After a while, more than a dozen classmates walked in one after another. Next, a beautiful woman wearing a white floral dress with waist-length hair strode into the classroom, and he said directly, "Hello classmates, my name is Xia LV and I am your counselor." "Damn it, this counselor is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, the counselor has such a great figure. The emergence of summer green, suddenly, it surprised all the boys, even those girls were sighing softly, oh my goodness, the counselor's skin is so white. Yeah, and on such a hot day, she's not oily at all. Her face is so clean. Our counselor has such a beautiful appearance, I feel a bit ashamed of myself. Yes, the Shuai LV in front of me is the Shuai LV teacher from the youth drama. After graduating from undergraduate studies, Shuai LV has not yet decided whether to continue her postgraduate studies or go home to work, so I applied for a school counselor and was later assigned to the microelectronics department. Today is her first day leading the class, and Qin Feng and others are also her first batch of students. Looking at the classmates who have already been reported in the classroom, Shuai LV's gaze lingered on Qin Feng for a few seconds, then he cleared his throat and said, "Classmates, on behalf of the school, I welcome your arrival. To be honest, you are my first class of students, so many times I actually need your help. So, that's why I asked everyone to come to the classroom in advance and assign tomorrow's work. Alright, before we start, let's all introduce ourselves first. Who will come first?" As soon as the voice of Shuai LV finished speaking, Wang Yao confidently walked onto the podium, then he smiled sweetly in the direction of Qin Feng and said, "Hello everyone, I am Wang Yao from Shangjiang. You can call me Yao Yao, or you can call me the school flower of a top student. Yes, during high school, I was a top student without a doubt, ranking in the top 5 of the school for years." Wang Yao knows, the first person to come on stage will definitely leave a deep impression on everyone, and the reason why she expressed her identity as a top student in school was deliberately attracting Qin Feng's attention. Sure enough, when you hear the words "school flower" from a top student, Qin Feng really looked carefully at Wang Yao, but then, Qin Feng became somewhat disappointed. Although Wang Yao's facial features are quite delicate and her attire is also considered sweet, but compared to the nearby summer green, Wang Yao is not like that anymore. Although Shuai LV is several years older than Wang Yao, but whether it's in terms of clothing, appearance, physique, or personal temperament, summer and green both won directly. So, Qin Feng just glanced at Wang Yao and stopped paying attention. Surprisingly, after Wang Yao finished introducing herself, he walked off the podium and walked straight to Qin Feng's side. Amidst the surprised gazes of the crowd, he asked with a smile, "Classmate, can I sit next to you?" "Oh, it's okay, just sit whatever you want." Qin Feng responded with a dismissive tone. But the CK man not far away couldn't bear to watch anymore. "Hurry up to the podium." CK man looked at Qin Feng and Wang Yao with some displeasure, then he turned his head to look at Shuai LV and asked, "Counselor, can we rent a parking space in our school? My Porsche has nowhere to park." Chapter 4. Teacher, I can drive Cullinan tomorrow. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 4. Teacher, can I drive Cullinan to install B tomorrow? Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. CK's male name is Huanxi, Imperial Household Registration, Ethnic Minorities, and the down-to-earth demolition of the second generation. Originally, Huanxi's family of 3 squeezed into a bungalow in a small alley within the 3rd Ring Road. Later, there was demolition. Huanxi's family bought a house outside the 5th Ring Road and several million yuan in cash. Huanxi's father used these few million yuan to make a down payment for several properties, relying on mortgage loans to repay the mortgage. Later on, housing prices continued to rise. The assets of Huanxi's family have also risen from several million to several million, but after being wealthy, Huanxi's father got divorced and spends his days calling out to friends and pretending to have fun. Along with it, Huanxi also learned a bad habit of pretending to be boastful. Seeing myself pretending to fail in front of Wang Yao, Huanxi thought that Wang Yao was pretending to be noble, and coincidentally, Counselor Shuai LV surpasses Wang Yao in various aspects such as appearance and temperament, so, Huanxi's pretending target changed directly from Wang Yao to Shuai LV, and then he said the sentence just now. As soon as Huangxi's words were spoken, Xia LV was noticeably stunned. The reactions of the classmates were different. Wang Yao sighed and looked at Huangxi, shaking his head in silence. Most male classmates gave a disdainful cut, but Qin Feng didn't care about Huangxi. Instead he was looking forward to Xia LV's answer. After a moment of confusion, Xia LV turned her head and glanced at the car outside the door, then he shook his head and said, "Classmate, according to school regulations, students and off-campus buses are not allowed to enter the school. These 2 days are for the convenience of students reporting, so the school is temporarily open. After the new students reporting ends, the school will strictly remove vehicles." Xia LV's words are clear and concise. Huangxi was very disappointed. After pretending to fail in front of Wang Yao just now, Huangxi felt that Wang Yao was still a high school student, so he pretended to be aloof, and Xia LV is a beautiful woman who has already left the campus, and she should know how realistic this society is. But Xia LV's answer once again disappointed Huangxi, can only helplessly ask in his heart, are women so noble now? Don't even consider a Porsche worth over $1 million. Attempting to force again failed, Huangxi could only walk down the podium in a disheveled manner. And at this moment, suddenly, a sound came from outside the door, attracting everyone's attention. Subsequently, a yellow Ferrari drove straight to the classroom door. In front of everyone's gaze, a graceful shake of the tail almost collided with Porsche at the door. Damn it, another pretentious one has arrived. Why did they just pretend to be forced? Look carefully, this is a Ferrari. Is there only so many wealthy people in the imperial capital? A Porsche is enough, and a Ferrari has arrived. It really broadens our horizons for people from small cities like us. It's different, Porsche is just a show, Ferrari is really rich. The sudden appearance of Ferrari, let the classmates discuss it one after another, but at this moment, Wang Yao's eyes lit up and she carefully scrutinized the appearance of Ferrari. But there was a hint of bad premonition. Taking a careful look at Ferrari's license plate, Qin Feng sighed helplessly and said, "Alas, this is really a coincidence." In our class, 2 generals, Wulong and Fengchu, appeared at the same time. Crouching Dragon and Phoenix Chicks. Upon hearing these words, Wang Yao beside her immediately developed a slight aversion towards Qin Feng. Before that movie was released, Wulong Fengchu was still a positive term, but after that movie came out, Wulong Fengchu became the exclusive synonym for fools. Wang Yao originally thought that, Qin Feng, who is tall, handsome, and the top scorer in the college entrance examination, will have a clear goal just like himself. But judging from what Qin Feng said earlier, at this time, the Qin Wind, still just a naive and innocent young man. So, Wang Yao kindly advised, "Classmate, not all wealthy people are fools, and according to survey data, the average quality of wealthy people is actually higher than that of poor people. So classmates, after entering university, don't be so naive anymore, let alone brainless hatred towards the rich. Brainless hatred towards wealth. Are you talking about me?" Qin Feng was somewhat surprised and turned his head to look at Wang Yao. Seeing Qin Feng's eyes filled with surprise and disapproval, Wang Yao is still preparing to persuade a few more words. A boy with dirty braids and a trendy T-shirt walked straight into the class, and it was only when most people were looking at themselves that the lock button was pressed. Then, the Ferrari outside the window rang out. After installing this pussy, the man with dirty braids feels comfortable all over, carefully scrutinized the appearance of the girls after work, then he looked directly at Xia LV and said, "Hello classmate, my name is Hukuan. We will be classmates from now on. By the way, hasn't the counselor come yet?" "I am the counselor." Xia LV finished speaking with a cold face, then he said, "Hukuan, since you're here, let's introduce ourselves first. Are you a counselor?" Hukuan looked up and down at Xia LV several times, then he shook his head and said, "It's a pity." Then he stood on the podium and said, "Hello everyone, I am Hukuan, from the capital city. At noon, I accompanied our hospital leaders to a small luncheon, which was why I came late. Please forgive me." A small lunch. Hu Kuan's words, Lu Jie and others sitting next to Qin Feng couldn't help but laugh. Just eat and have a small lunch, that's forcing him to pretend. That's right, still accompanying the hospital leaders. The hospital leaders know who you are. Ah, there are more and more pretentious men in our class. Has Qinbei become like this now? The words of Lu Jie and others, Wang Yao couldn't help but roll her eyes. Turning his head, he glanced at the faces of Lu Jie and others. Wang Yao immediately lost his interest in preaching. Taking another look at Ferrari outside the window, it was confirmed that it was a 488 model worth over 4 million yuan. Wang Yao turned to Qin Feng and said, "Do you see, classmates? This is mindless hatred towards the rich. Let me tell you, such thoughts are very extreme and will even affect your overall judgment of society." "No, are you sick?" Qin Feng looked at Wang Yao and said roast impatiently. Wang Yao was taken aback and was about to speak up to defend herself. On the podium, Hu Kuan said again, "Counselor, how much is the parking space in our school? I want to buy a Ferrari to park me." The same tone, the same costume style, Hu Kuan's words immediately triggered collective ridicule from the boys, but Wang Yao started to defend Hu Kuan with a few girls. "What are you laughing at? What's so funny about this?" "That's right, Hu Kuan just wanted to buy a parking spot for convenient parking. Are you mocking him like this? If you can't eat grapes, say they're sour. If you're poor, you'll have no idea how to hate the rich. Hee, that's really enough. A group of poor people, they are really pitiful. A few girls, it has undermined the self-esteem of many boys in the class." Even Qin Feng felt inexplicably slapped in the face. I looked at Wang Yao, who was now dressed as a righteous angel. With annoyance, Qin Feng decided to counterattack. So, Qin Feng stood up, facing the puzzled gaze of Wang Yao and the others. Looking at Xia Lv with a smile, she asked, "Teacher, can I come to school tomorrow with Cullinan to pretend to be a pushover?" Chapter 5. Qin Feng, come to my house and tell you something. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 5. Qin Feng, come to my house and tell you something. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. After listening to Qin Feng's words, just now, Hu Kuan, who was still holding his toes high and angry, was stunned for a moment, and his face couldn't bear to hang. Then he began to scrutinize Qin Feng's attire. The upper body is a white T-shirt without a logo, and the lower body is a very common horse pants. Obviously, at this time, Qin Feng's outfit was probably not more than 200 yuan. Not as expensive as his own pair of socks. It's obvious that he's just a hard-working college student. No, it's just that you're so poor. Have you ever seen Karina? I'm pretending because I really have a Ferrari. You don't even have a car. Are you installing air? Meanwhile, Qin Feng's words also made the girls who were just maintaining Hu Kuan shut their mouths and turn their heads to look at Qin Feng, and Wang Yao, sitting next to Qin Feng. At this moment, she shook her head in disappointment. At this moment, in Wang Yao's view, Qin Feng is not only a brainless enemy of wealth, but also a mentally disabled person who pretends to be lofty and self-righteous. Do he think he can outdo Hu Kuan by pretending to be a pushover? Hu Kuan really has a car. Do you have Qin Feng? If you still open your mouth, it's Cullinan. Do you know how much a Cullinan costs? How did you get the top scorer in the province with your emotional intelligence and intelligence? Everyone was watching Qin Feng. Huanxi, who had previously pretended not to succeed, chuckled. Looking at Qin Feng, he said, "Classmate, I don't object to pretending to be forced, but pretending to be forced requires strength. Classmate, you may not know that our classmates have very high standards. Some female classmate doesn't even look up to my Porsche. The reason why Hu Kuan pretends is because he really has a Ferrari. Even if you can't stand it, you have to endure it, you know. This is strength." Huangxi's words, it made Lu Jie and others feel very unhappy. Damn it, why do you owe such a beating when you talk so hard? That's right, is Qinbei University where you come to pretend to be coerced? If you can't stand it, you can't say it anymore. Damn it, it's really not possible. Everyone pooled together to rent a car and help Qin Feng and us out of this bad temper. After speaking, Bai Tao directly took out his phone to search for rental prices in Cullinan, and then there was silence. Seeing this, Lu Jie snatched his phone and said, the 2019 Cullinan has a daily rent of 15,000 yuan. Damn it, it's so expensive, it's enough for my living expenses for a semester. High rental prices helplessly silenced Lu Jie and others who support Qin Feng. At this point, Hu Kuan, who regained his confidence, just sneered. Looking at Qin Feng, he said, classmate, you have also heard that pretending to be forced requires strength, otherwise you will be a fool. If you can drive Cullinan to school tomorrow, then I will directly donate 50,000 yuan as our class's class fee for this year. How about this student, do you want to take a gamble? Hu Kuan's provocation let Qin Feng once again become the focus of the whole class. Although Lu Jie and the others were unhappy, but he could only persuade in a low voice, forget Qin Feng, there's no need. Yeah, they should have won at the starting line right from birth, we can't match them. Wang Yao beside me, I had originally planned to give up Qin Feng, but looking at Qin Feng's handsome profile, Wang Yao still couldn't bear it and whispered, alright, Qin Feng, you lower your head to admit Hu Kuan's mistake. Let's just forget about this. Sooner or later, you'll need to ask Hu Kuan for help. Seeing everyone persuading Hu Kuan, Huang Su suddenly jumped out again and said, I'll add one. Classmate, as long as you can bring Cullinan to school tomorrow, I will also donate 20,000 yuan for class fees. How about that? Line. Under the gaze of everyone, Qin Feng nodded decisively in agreement. Then, Hu Kuan and Huang Su shook their heads and smiled disdainfully. Wang Yao, who was completely disappointed, immediately stood up and changed her seat, and he took the initiative to show goodwill to Hu Kuan. Hu Kuan, let's sit here. It's cooler here. The other few girls and boys all had a theatrical expression, only Lu Jie and the others were worried about Qin Feng. Qin Feng, why don't we just forget about it? Renting one day would cost at least 15,000 yuan, it's too expensive. Yeah, Qin Feng, there's no need for that. Our living expenses aren't much. Okay Qin Feng, let's add a WeChat account later. I can personally sponsor you for 1,000 yuan, is that okay? No need. Qin Feng smiled and refused the kindness of Lu Jie, Yang Nan, and others, then he asked Xia Lv again, teacher, can I drive over tomorrow? Sure. Xia Lv, who had a big head, nodded helplessly and said, I happen to be going to collect books and military training uniforms tomorrow. If you're willing, why don't you all drive over to help? Subsequently, Xia Lv then explained a few more things and took the students back to the dormitory. Qin Feng doesn't live on campus, so he'll leave first. Lu Jie and the others followed the girl calmly, occasionally glancing at Wang Yao's legs. Then I heard the conversation between Wang Yao and Hu Kuan. Hu Kuan, you shouldn't have gambled with Qin Feng today. If he really rents a Cullinan tomorrow. Impossible. Hu Kuan sneered and said, renting a top-tier luxury car like Cullinan requires proof of assets and income. He's just a poor student, and no one will rent it to him. That's good. Wang Yao chuckled and said, hee hee, the thinking of poor students is really incomprehensible. Fortunately, you don't have to lose money. It took over half an hour for the bus to stop. Qin Feng was already covered in sweat, although there were many fewer uncles and aunties on the bus back, but there were also many more tourists. Qin Feng only squeezed for over half an hour and surprisingly learned several Minnan dialects. Returning home, Qin Feng took off his clothes and took a shower directly. After taking a shower and lying on the sofa, Qin Feng just picked up his phone and thought about ordering takeout tonight. While hesitating between spicy crayfish and ground pot chicken, a reminder suddenly popped up on WeChat. Open it and take a look. Surprisingly, it was a WeChat message sent by Song Qian. Qin Feng, have you returned? Come to my house and tell you something. What is Song Qian doing? After reading WeChat, Qin Feng had some doubts. At this moment, Song Qian's tone was somewhat distant, perhaps to keep a distance from Qin Feng. However, he asked Qin Feng to go directly to her house to discuss things. This makes it difficult to understand. Mind her, let's go first before we talk. So, Qin Feng put on a T-shirt, go downstairs. I went up the elevator in building 3 again, then, just rang the doorbell of Song Qian's house. Chapter 6. Song Qian, he is still a child. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 6. Song Qian, he is still a child. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. Ding dong. The doorbell rings. Song Qian immediately stood up, rubbing my flushed face. I checked my clothes and makeup in the mirror again. Subsequently, standing behind the door, take a deep breath and open the door. As soon as the door opens, facing you is the handsome and sunny face of Qin Feng. Song Qian was stunned for a moment, immediately forget all the prepared speeches. Then, I couldn't help but start feeling anxious. Seeing Qin Feng looking for slippers with his head down, Song Qian quickly bent down to get her slippers, but he smelled the faint fragrance on Qin Feng's body. That's a soap mixed with the scent of youthful hormones. Moment let Song Qian blush again. My heart also began to beat violently. Taking advantage of the time when Qin Feng changed his shoes, Song Qian quickly returned to the dining table and sat down, supporting the table, and then he closed his eyes. Remind yourself, Song Qian, don't panic or panic. He's still a child. Change into slippers. Qin Feng sat down at the dining table, looking at Song Qian with some confusion. He said, Auntie Song Qian, are you feeling unwell? Why is your face so red? Ah. No, no. Song Qian quickly waved her hand to deny, but completely forgot what she wanted to say. To alleviate embarrassment, Song Qian quickly asked, Qin Feng, have you eaten yet? Not yet, I was about to order takeout when I received your WeChat. Ah, then I'll order takeout. Let's chat while eating. What do you want to eat? Anything is fine. Okay then. Song Qian picked up her phone and ordered the steak near the community. Not long after, the steak was delivered by someone. Set up the plates and utensils. Song Qian looked at the steak and then at Qin Feng, then he couldn't help but say, how about drinking some? I have saved a few bottles of good red wine. Still drinking? Qin Feng laughed at the words. Aunt Song Qian, yesterday was also because of drinking. Looking at Qin Feng's smile, Song Qian's face immediately turned red again, so he quickly turned around and walked into the kitchen. After washing my face, Song Qian leaned against the wine cabinet, her expression somewhat conflicted. At this moment, 2 little Song Qian are fighting in their minds. Among them, Xiao Song Qian, dressed in a bunny girl costume and wearing a devil's horn. Song Qian, what are you hesitating about? Qin Feng is so handsome and young, why don't you pounce? Advised in a seductive voice. After the demon Song Qian finished speaking, Angel Song Qian, dressed in a white dress, quickly shook her head and refused. Song Qian, you need to think clearly. You are so much older than Qin Feng. If you really want to be together, how will others see you? Even if you can disregard others' opinions, what should Yingzi do? Yingzi is about to enter high school. Are you not afraid of delaying her studies? Song Qian, you need to think carefully. 2 little Song Qian, arguing and having a headache. Song Qian sighed helplessly and took out the red wine from the wine cabinet, slowly opened the red wine with a bottle opener. Song Qian finally made up her mind. Forget it, let's just treat last night as a ridiculous night. From now on, Qin Feng is just one of my tenants, that's all. After making up my mind, Song Qian arrived at the dining table with a glass and wine. At this point, Qin Feng has already eaten half of the steak in front of him. Upon seeing this, Song Qian knew that Qin Feng was hungry, so she quickly cut her steak in half and put it on Qin Feng's plate. The 2 of them just ate, drank, and chatted like this. Song Qian gradually opened up her heart and regarded Qin Feng as her audience, expressing all the discomfort and depression that I have been holding in my heart for so many years. Speaking and speaking, tears involuntarily flowed out. Upon seeing this, Qin Feng picked up a tissue and handed it to Song Qian. Song Qian reached out to pick it up, but touched Qin Feng's finger. Moment it's like being electrocuted. Song Qian's heart skipped a beat. Suddenly, some scenes from last night flashed through my mind. Qin Feng's handsome face, a broad chest, strong and powerful arms. Then, Song Qian was like being possessed by a demon, unconsciously leaning on Qin Feng's shoulder. After another stormy night, when the sun shone again on Qin Feng's face, Qin Feng, who woke up, once again heard the system prompt sound, ding. Sao wants to gain proficiency in street dance. Looking at Song Qian, who was still asleep beside her, Qin Feng shook his head and smiled. Get up and dress up. Then he walked out gently and closed the door. Dong. As soon as the door closes, Song Qian immediately sat up on the bed. Turning his head, he glanced outside the door, then he rubbed his long hair in frustration. She said helplessly, Song Qian, what are you doing? He's just a child. Returning home, I took another cold shower. Qin Feng took the car key and then went directly to the underground garage. Song Qian's house, each with exclusive parking spaces, so, Qin Feng easily found his own car. Looking at Corina, tall and cold like a light armored vehicle, taking another look at the license plate number of Beijing A6666, Qin Feng smiled and said, the license plate number is pretty good. Later, Qin Feng opened the door and got on the train. Then I stepped on the gas and drove towards the school. This morning, Counselor Xia LV notified the students on campus to gather in the large classroom before 9 o'clock, but it's only 8:30 now. The classmates in the class are almost here. At the entrance of the large classroom, the white Porsche and yellow Ferrari still stop without rules, and Hu Kuan, Wang Yao, Huang Su and others sat at the door. Look at the road that leads directly to the big classroom. Yao, we've been waiting for more than 10 minutes. Qin Feng, our classmate, isn't he too scared to come? After watching for a while, there was still no appearance of Cullinan. Huang Su said somewhat bored. Not at all. Hu Kun chuckled and said, it's just a bet between classmates. It's a small matter. I'm a very generous person. I just want Qin Feng to know that some people can't pretend to be forced. Well, it's still Hu Kuan's generosity. Wang Yao smiled and said, all right, when Qin Feng comes soon, let him apologize for you. After all, everyone is classmates, and it's not good to have too much trouble. Apologize. Upon hearing this, Lu Jia behind him rolled his eyes in displeasure and said, what's wrong with boasting? Do you need to apologize? That's it. Bai Tao immediately said, is boasting and forcing someone to break the law. I also want Qin Feng to apologize and fart. Everyone is arguing. A black Cullinan appeared in everyone's sight. Huang Su was startled when he saw it and said, damn it. Is it really Cullinan? Can't it really be Qin Feng, right? In an instant, everyone looked at the Cullinan approaching towards the classroom. Hu Kun nervously examined the license plate carefully, then he suddenly relaxed and laughed, this can never be Qin Feng's car. Jing A66666, do you know how precious this license plate is? Let me put it this way, with just one license plate, you can buy a Cullinan. That's right, even selling his Qin Feng can't afford this car, let alone this precious Beijing A license plate. Chapter 7. Strength brother, it's time to pay. Kneeling and begging. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Strength brother, it's time to pay. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. In the midst of everyone's discussion, Corina slowly stopped at the entrance of the large classroom, then, everyone saw Qin Feng sitting in the driver's cab. What the hell am I? Damn it. Me, damn it. Moment several national insults with different emotions erupted in the crowd. Huang Shimu staring blankly at Qin Feng in Curry Nonly. Wang Yao widened her eyes and her head crashed at that moment. Hu Kun frowned tightly, glancing at Qin Feng, looking down at the license plate again, then, looking up at Qin Feng again, his eyes were filled with doubt and shock. After experiencing the initial shock, Lu Jie and others, but immediately cheered and ran towards Cullinan, opened the car door, welcoming the Qin wind. It was the scream of Lu Jie and the others, "Qin Feng is amazing. Bully, Qin Shao. You're really a bully. Ferrari is just a joke." With an indifferent smile, surrounded by the three of Lu Jie, Qin Feng came straight to Hu Kuan and others. Subsequently, Qin Feng smiled and asked, "Hu Kuan, if you can get into Qinbei, your English should be good. Can you help me check if the Rolls-Royce English on the car logo is correct?" Moment Hu Kuan's face turned red, choked by Qin Feng and unable to speak. He knows, at this moment, Qin Feng was pretending to force himself, but he has no strength to fight back. Just now, he also proudly popularized the value of the Beijing A license plate to other classmates. The meaning behind the words is that Qin Feng couldn't possibly own this license plate. Then, he was slapped hard by Qin Feng sitting in the car. And, it's still a public mockery. Hu Kuan's family is actually quite wealthy. In the early years, his father bet on the internet, and then soared to the sky. So far, the total assets are close to 1 billion, with long-term working capital in the tens of millions. But even with such a billionaire, the license plates at home are only below Beijing E. His father once wanted to find someone to play with a leopard named Jing'e, but he was told that he couldn't get 10 million. And, as they clearly said, this is not a matter of money at all. Looking at Qin Feng in front of me, Hu Kuan blushed and hesitated, unsure of what to say. At this moment, Wang Yao, who woke up from shock, looked at Qin Feng as if he were watching an alien. Before coming to school, Wang Yao had already done her homework, so, Wang Yao knows that the latest model of Qin Feng's Cullinan starts at a basic price of 7 million yuan, and if optional and purchase taxes are added, the landing price will be at least 10 million yuan or more. But, what Qin Feng was wearing were all very ordinary and casual clothes. Don't even talk about watches. I haven't even worn an AJ. How could a boy like him be so rich? If all of this is family money, then Qin Feng, this wealthy young master, is too low. Key. And, Hu Kuan just said that the license plate number of Qin Feng is very precious, at least worth millions. Your luxury car, worth nearly 10 million yuan, still has tens of millions of license plates hanging on it. Is this too rich? Unconsciously, Wang Yao's gaze towards Qin Feng completely changed. She originally thought, Qin Feng is just a naive and ignorant young man, unaware of the cruelty of the real society, but Wang Yao only now understands, a young man who goes out is worth 20 million yuan. What kind of cruelty should he understand? He should be noble, he should be simple, you should act as you please and act as you please. Suddenly, Wang Yao regretted it. If I had known the result was like this, she should have firmly supported Qin Feng yesterday and joined him in criticizing Hu Kuan. In this way, she was able to quickly bridge the gap between herself and Qin Feng and take the first step towards marrying into a wealthy family. Upon careful consideration, Wang Yao truly regrets the past, so, she immediately took a few steps back and widened the distance between herself and Hu Kuan. Subsequently, with a hint of regret and self-blame on his face, he kept looking at Qin Feng. I waited for 2 minutes. Hu Kuan never answered Qin Feng's words. Huanxi beside him couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed, although my face was also a bit pale at this moment, but Huanxi persisted and said, "Isn't it just a Cullinan? What's there to install?" Huanxi's words, ignored directly by Qin Feng, he didn't even glance at it. However, Lu Jie, who was beside Qin Feng, had no intention of letting Huanxi go. Turning around and pointing at Qin Feng's car, Lu Jie exclaimed loudly, "Huanxi, please keep an eye on it. This is indeed just a Cullinan. But, one Cullinan can buy you 7 Porsche cars, so I'm asking if you're angry. Didn't you say yesterday that pretending to be coerced requires strength? Now that you have seen strength, can we pretend to be coerced?" A few words from Lu Jie. Huanxi, who was directly scolded, was speechless. After a while, Huanxi lowered his head and took the initiative to move his car away. Then he said to Qin Feng, "Why don't you park your car here? It's cool here and the car won't get sunburned." Upon hearing these words, Lu Jie and others, recognizing Huang Su's good performance, Qin Feng smiled indifferently and then walked into the classroom. Not long after, Xia Lv walked over wearing a black sleeveless long dress, seeing 3 cars parked outside the classroom. One of them is tall and handsome. Xia Lv hesitated for a moment and said, "Is this Qin Feng's car?" Entering the classroom, Xia Lv gave Qin Feng a deep glance, but did not ask about the car. Instead, he said directly, "I'm calling everyone here today for 2 things. The first thing is to go to the Academic Affairs Office to collect professional books. There are many and heavy books, and I hope that students who have cars can take the initiative to help other students. The second thing is to get military training uniforms. As we all know, we will start military training tomorrow, so today, we need to finish these things. Alright, classmates, do you have anything else to add?" As soon as the words fell, Qin Feng raised his right hand. Xia Lv saw this and gestured, "Qin Feng, please speak." "Xia Lv, it's about class fees." Qin Feng stood up and said loudly, "Yesterday 2 classmates said that as long as I drive, they will donate different amounts of class fees. So teacher, I drove here today." The problem with Qin Feng has given Xia Lv a headache. She knew about Qin Feng's bet with Huan yesterday, but as a counselor, she did not encourage or approve of such behavior. And several classmates, including Lu Jie, also spoke out directly to mock, "Why aren't you talking? I'm willing to give up, don't you know? Damn it, yesterday I pretended to be so high profile, and today I want to be a shrunken turtle. That's right, don't you have the strength? Hurry up and pay the class fee to show your strength. Give it, give it." Unable to bear the mockery, Huan finally stood up and asked, "Teacher, who is the class fee for? Give it to me." Qin Feng smiled and said, "Teacher Xia Lv, before the formal election of class cadres, I would like to temporarily assume the position of class monitor. Is that okay?" "Okay." Upon hearing this, Xia Lv nodded in agreement. Qin Feng opened the payment code and handed it directly to Huan, saying, "Scan the code directly." "Got it." Huan frowned and scanned the code, then transferred 50,000 yuan. Upon seeing this, Huanxi quickly buried his head and secretly prayed to Qin Feng not to think of himself. Subsequently, however, Lu Jie walked over and patted Huanxi's shoulder. Then he directly pointed Qin Feng's payment code at Huanxi's face and said, "Hey, brother strength, I've paid." Chapter 8. The Promise to Eat Lobster. What are you eating? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. We agreed to go eat lobster. Are you eating Australian crayfish? Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. After posting the address of the Academic Affairs Office in the class group, Xia Lv left the classroom and rode the small electric bike first. As for the students, they just formed their own teams. Huanxi, the powerful brother, hesitated in front of the car for a while. After saying, "Don't scrape my car," I took the lead in walking towards the campus shuttle bus. Huan stopped Wang Yao, then he asked, "Yao Yao, can you take my car?" "No need." Wang Yao refused directly. Huan was surprised by his straightforward attitude. Subsequently, Huan watched as Wang Yao walked straight to Qin Feng. "Qin Feng, there may be some misunderstanding between us. How about you take me to the Academic Affairs Office so we can have a good chat in the car," said Qin Feng with a soft and smiling voice. "No need." Qin Feng shook his head decisively and refused. "I have a cleanliness fetish and don't like others sitting in my car." "Okay." Wang Yao gave a disappointed response, "Persuading oneself in my heart, Qin Feng didn't reject me, he just had a cleanliness fetish. Having a fetish for cleanliness is normal, and only boys with a fetish for cleanliness have more connotations." Wang Yao is currently self-medicating. Qin Feng turned around and waved at Lu Jie and others, saying, "Let's go, get in the car, and go to the Academic Affairs Office together." Here. We can also sit in Cullinan now. Qin Feng, please drive slowly later. I need to feel and feel more. Lu Jia and the others said, competing to rush into Qin Feng's car, but at this moment, Wang Yao was completely dumbfounded, looking at the yellow T-shirts, oversized jeans, and old mud stuck in the soles of Lu Jia and others. Wang Yao couldn't help but laugh and cry, Qin Feng, is this what you call cleanliness obsession? The Academic Affairs Office has already formed a long queue. It's okay, Shuai LV lined up in advance. After waiting for over an hour, finally, it's the turn of the microelectronics department. With the help of Qin Feng and others, Shuai LV first brought out professional books. Looking at those two piles of professional books as high as small mountains, Shuai LV looked at Qin Feng with some worry and said, Qin Feng, I know your car is quite expensive, but we have too many professional books. Understood. Qin Feng nodded directly, then he picked up a stack of books and shouted to Lu Jia and others, everyone has come to work. After work, eat lobster tonight. Here we go. Lu Jia and others hurried over, following Qin Feng. They kept putting books into the trunk of Curry Nan. Then, Wang Yao collapsed and said, Qin Feng, is this your so-called cleanliness obsession? Your car can be used to hold books, but you don't let me sit, right? After loading the book, Shuai LV took Qin Feng to collect the military training uniform again. Then, these military training uniforms were stuffed into the car. Later, Lu Jia and others also squeezed into the car. Watching sweaty Lu Jia and others chatting recklessly in the Qin windmill, Wang Yao bit her lips and remained silent. Hukuan walked over and said, Wang Yao, are you willing to take my car back? Let's go. Wang Yao lowered her head and responded, then got into Hukuan's car, and Huang Su followed other classmates to squeeze onto the shuttle bus and drove towards the direction of the classroom. Returning to the classroom, after distributing professional books and military training uniforms, Shuai LV announced the dissolution of free activity. Then, when Shuai LV had just stepped down from the podium to prepare immediately, Qin Feng stood up and called out to Shuai LV, wait a moment, Teacher Shuai. Subsequently, Qin Feng said to his classmates, military training will start tomorrow, and we only have a few hours of freedom left. As a temporary class monitor, my personal suggestion is that our class first build a team and go eat lobster with the teacher, okay? Lobster, good, good. I want to eat spicy crayfish. I want to eat braised shrimp, really, braised shrimp is so delicious. Qin Feng is amazing, let's have a big meal. Class monitor, may I ask if it's I won't go, crayfish are actually quite expensive. Qin Feng, why don't you invite me? You've already come to school in Cullinan. Seeing the classmates gossiping and discussing, Shuai LV quickly spoke up and said, classmates, since it's a group activity, we can deduct it from the class fee. We can't let any student bear it alone. Upon hearing these words, Qin Feng, smiling, he looked at Shuai LV and said, Teacher Shuai, let's come together. I won't go. Shuai LV waved her hand and refused, I have already made an appointment with someone else. Next time, I will definitely arrive. Oh, Teacher Shuai has a date. Teacher Shuai, is your boyfriend handsome or not? Teacher Shuai, are you not giving us any chance? Haha, if it's summer green, it immediately caused a sensation. Both boys and girls are questioning Shuai LV's date. Summer green is visible, quickly waved his hand and walked away with a red face. After watching Shuai LV leave, Qin Feng waved his hand directly and said, let's go, classmates. Form a group of 4 on your own, each person will call a taxi and the fare will be reimbursed. Alright. We're having a big meal. Qin squad leader is amazing. Qin Feng, you're too handsome. The classmates said happily as they walked out of the classroom. Only Hukuan and Wang Yao remained in the classroom. Huang Su originally wanted to follow the team-building team, but seeing the unmoved Hukuan and Wang Yao, he stopped and asked, Hukuan, Yao, aren't you going? I won't go. Hukuan shook his head and said, crayfish and these things are just street snacks. Wang Yao, would you like to accompany me to eat top-notch beef? Well, okay. Wang Yao considered for a moment and then nodded. Huang Su originally thought that Hu Kun would bring him along, but after waiting for a while, Hu Kun didn't even mean to ask himself. Huang Su could only smile awkwardly and said, "Forget it, if you don't go, I won't go either. I'll go back to the dormitory to eat sea cucumber. I'm tired today and need to make up for it." 1 hour later, Huang Su is sitting in the dormitory. While brushing the video, I ate my own fried rice with eggs. Originally, this semester, his father gave him 40,000 yuan in living expenses, calculated to be 10,000 yuan per month. It's already quite good. But just yesterday, Huang Su made a cheap remark and donated 20,000 yuan directly. The remaining 20,000 yuan not only includes his living expenses, but also the money he spends on drinking, going to bars, pretending to be forced to give gifts in the future. Therefore, Huang Su can only feel aggrieved and taste the poor food like egg fried rice. Don't say anything. Once people are hungry, they will think that the egg fried rice is really good. Take several bites in a row and scoop the remaining rice into your mouth. Huang Su received a message from the class group. Open WeChat and see the video sent by Qin Feng. Open the video and watch it. The classmates in the class are using extremely exaggerated expressions, holding the emperor crab legs and Australian crayfish in hand. Subsequently, looking at the camera one by one, they shouted loudly, "Thank you to Hu Kun for sending the emperor crab. Thank you to Huang Su for sending the Australian dragon." Puff. The egg fried rice in Huang Su's mouth was directly sprayed out. Holding the phone, wanting to cry without tears, Qin Feng, "You're nothing," exclaimed in a frenzy. "Obviously it's about eating lobster. You take the whole class to eat Australian dragon. And king crab. Shit. Why didn't I go? It's all my fucking money." Chapter 9. Qin Feng, I have recorded this hatred. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Qin Feng, I have recorded this hatred. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. Yao Yao, this Japanese restaurant can't be said to be the highest and most expensive in the city, but it must be the most upscale and expensive Hinyu restaurant in the university city. Their steaks are all air freighted from Japan every day, ensuring high-end and fresh quality from the source. Moreover, their peony shrimp is also top-notch, with an ultimate fresh and sweet taste when eaten. I personally believe that apart from the seafood feast of top-notch king crabs and top-notch Australian dragons, there is nothing more luxurious than beef. After Hu Kun finished speaking, he took the initiative to peel a peony shrimp and put it in Wang Yao's bowl, saying, "Yao Yao, give it a try." "Thank you." Wang Yao nodded in gratitude. Just as I was about to pick up the shrimp, I heard a WeChat reminder. "Open your phone and take a look. It's class group news." Open the class group, click on the video. Subsequently, it's the extremely exaggerated facial expressions of all the students, and the emperor crab legs and Australian lobster meat they held in their hands. I personally believe that apart from the seafood feast of emperor crab and Australian dragon, there is nothing more luxurious than beef and mutton. Hu Kun's words just now were still echoing in the air. The impoverished classmates in the video who were despised by both Hu Kun and Wang Yao, but they are all holding up the emperor crab and the Australian dragon, and he exclaimed with extreme exaggeration, "Thank you to Hu Kun for bringing the emperor crab. Thank you to Huang Su for bringing the Australian dragon. Damn it." Hu Kun instantly broke through the defense and directly dropped his chopsticks. Can this his mother slap be more skillful? He just finished pretending to be coerced. Qin Feng slapped himself hard with the whole class. Can't Hu Kun afford to eat emperor crab or Australian dragon? No, he is just tentatively investing. In Hu Kun's view, every woman has a level, and Wang Yao's level is only matched with cows. It won't be too expensive and can be pretentious. Eating a few more times won't hurt either. Just like Wang Yao, she looks pretty good, has a good figure, and has face with her. Then let's hook up first. When you get tired of playing, just dump it. Hu Kun never expected it. I was beaten by Qin Feng in front of Wang Yao once again, and I used my own class dues. Shit. Hu Kun's chest felt stuffy. Wang Yao was also very regretful at this moment. Isn't it about eating crayfish? How did you eat emperor crab and Australian dragon? If I had known it was emperor crab and Australian dragon, would definitely have gone. At 7 p.m., Shuxian Yayuan, Song Qian put on anti-scalding gloves and brought her stewed soup to the table. I just took off my gloves and looked at my phone. It's already 7 o'clock, should Qin Feng be back now? After speaking, Song Qiangang is preparing to send a WeChat message to Qin Tian. The door was suddenly pushed open by someone. Mom. I'm back. Long time no see. Xiaoyingzi didn't even change her shoes, so she happily threw herself into Song Qian's arms. Song Qian was startled and a bit at a loss, saying, Yingzi, how did you come back? Originally, Xiaoyingzi said he will return the day after tomorrow, so, Song Qiankai is not worried at all, and happily prepared dinner for Qin Feng. At this moment, Xiaoyingzi suddenly returned. Song Qian immediately panicked. However, Xiaoyingzi hasn't spoken yet. Xiao Weidong changed his shoes and said, it's not because Yingzi missed you. I originally planned to play with Yingzi for another 2 days, but Yingzi said she couldn't sleep even thinking of you, so we came back early. How about it? Are you surprised or not? Xiao Weidong said. He came to the dining table and said, oh, so much delicious food. Qian, do you know we need to come back early? Is it related to you? Seeing Xiao Weidong, Song Qian said with a black face, it's not made for you to eat. I know, you made it for Yingzi to eat. Xiao Weidong lowered his head to smell it and couldn't help but say, it's really fragrant, it's still a familiar taste. Yingzi, your mother's cooking skills are getting better and better. Yes, Dad. Yingzi took the initiative to run to the kitchen, took out 3 bowls and chopsticks, and ran back. Then he looked pitifully at Song Qian and said, Mom, our family hasn't had dinner together for a long time. You can let my dad accompany me to have some. That's it. Xiao Weidong is not polite at all. Sitting down directly and opening the soup pot, he said, Yingzi, you see how good your mother is to you. I'll stew soup for you as soon as I come back. Come on, I'll try it first. After Xiao Weidong finished speaking, using a spoon to fill the soup, he paused slightly and said, Angelica sinensis, seahorse, goji berries. These should be kidney tonifying things. Xiaomeng cooks for Xiao Weidong every day at home. No, it's not, Song Qian, why are you doing these things for Yingzi? At first, Xiao Weidong was very puzzled. Looking up at Song Qian's silk sleeveless pajamas, he understood, oh, so this soup was made for me, so I can't drink it all. Thinking of this, Xiao Weidong ignored the soup and drank a big bowl with a thud. Upon seeing this, Song Qian furrowed her brows and silently shouted in her heart, Xiao Weidong, please shut up for me. That's not the soup I made for you. On the way back to school, Wang Yao and Hu Kuan both remained somewhat silent. Ferrari, which was still passionate yesterday, no longer roared, truthfully following the road, pressed the car window. Wang Yao just wants to blow the night breeze, but then, once again, I saw the Qin Feng's Cullinan. Qin Feng's car was slowly following behind an old man, and the old man was dragging a trailer, which was full of scrap. Slowly following for a while, behind Qin Feng, a car impatiently honked its horn. Then, Qin Feng opened the door and got off directly. After saying a few words to the old man, he decided to load his waste onto the car. The old man saw the situation and quickly stopped Qin Feng. Then he said, young man, I understand your kindness, but your car is quite expensive. It's not good to get it dirty. It's quite expensive. Grandpa knows this car. Qinbei University, even security guards have a bachelor's degree, and those seemingly ordinary grandparents walking back and forth in school, you can pick any one. It could be a leading figure in a certain industry, so, even if he is just a rag picker, he must not be underestimated. So Qin Feng tentatively asked, Grandpa, what is your English proficiency level? The old man was stunned for a moment, then grinned and said, what level is it? I only know those 22 English letters. What's wrong, young man? Don't understand English. That's easy to handle. Qin Feng gave a sly smile and pointed to the English letters on the car emblem, saying, "Grandpa, this is Havel. You read it to me, he ah ha, fu oh fu. This domestically produced car looks good and is cheap and durable. Grandpa, you can come with me to get on the car. It's still far from the waist station here." After speaking, Qin Feng stuffed the old man's waist together with the trailer into the back seat, then he invited the old man into the passenger seat, fastened his seatbelt, and Wang Yao, who witnessed this scene throughout, suddenly, "My face changed, garbage Qin Feng, don't you have a cleanliness fetish? Now even garbage can get into your car, I can't do it, can I? In your eyes, am I Wang Yao not as good as that pile of garbage?" Biting his lips tightly, Wang Yao's gaze gradually became resentful, then he whispered, "Qin Feng, I have never suffered such an insult before. I, Wang Yao, have recorded this account." Chapter 10. Encountering Pei Yin by chance, the car was hit. Kneel down. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 10. Encountering Pei Yin by chance, the car was hit. Kneeling for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets. The scrap was sold for 70.2 and 8 yuan. Grandpa insisted on giving 50 to Qin Feng to wash the car. Qin Feng couldn't resist the master, he collected 20 yuan from the old man, and then drove towards the orchid hut pointed out by the old man. This will, Xia Lv and Pei Yin are also walking towards the orchid alley. The two had just finished their meal and drank some sake, so they chose to walk. Having looked at the surrounding scenery, Pei Yin couldn't help but sigh and say, "Xia Lv, the development speed of our great Xia is really fast. This change is really too big." "Yeah." Xia Lv nodded and said, "Senior sister, in the years when you're not here, our summer has really changed a lot. By the way, senior sister, Sanyi will soon be in high school, right?" Pei Yin responded and said, "I also returned to my home country because of March 1st. After all, I am already in my third year of high school, so I must pay attention. By the way, Xia Lv, is the teacher still teaching doctoral students?" "Well, my dad can't stay idle. Besides, lithography machines and chips have always been his concern, and he can't let go." Upon hearing this, Pei Yin shook her head and smiled helplessly, "Ah. The teacher is still the same, but as a student, I am no longer that student. Xia Lv, I have let down my teacher too much." "Hi, everyone has their own choices." Xia Lv smiled and said, "My dad has also been thinking about it these years, and all the past things have passed. By the way, senior sister, do you have any plans when you come back?" "Not yet." Pei Yin shook her head and said, "But I rented a house in Shuxiang Yayuan. First, let me supervise the study of Sanyi." The two were chatting. I saw a black Cullinan parked at the entrance of the alley. Subsequently, an old man opened the door and got off the car, waving goodbye with a smile. "My dad." Xia Lv was taken aback for a moment. Taking a closer look at the license plate in the library, he said, "Isn't this my classmate's car?" Pei Yin was a bit surprised and glanced at Cullinan, then he smiled and said, "Nowadays, college students can do it. They just started driving Cullinan. Does he know a teacher?" "I don't know." Xia Lv shook her head and said, "I only took him for 2 days. His name is Qin Feng, and he is a sunny and handsome guy with a slightly bold personality." "Really? Young people nowadays, who doesn't show off?" Hee hee. Pei Yin chuckled and stopped her steps. "Xia Lv, let's just stop here. I'm afraid the teacher will get angry again if they see me." "It's also okay." Xia Lv nodded and said, "Senior sister, please go back and make an appointment later when you have time." "Okay, contact us via WeChat." Pei Yin waved her hand and got into a taxi. Xia Lv quickly took a few steps and then grabbed the old man's arm, saying, "Dad, why did you go there again? Are you still taking a luxury car back?" "Hi, he's a kind-hearted young man. He's really good-looking and fun to play with. The old man grinned and said, in order to send me to sell scrap, he actually called Rolls-Royce Havel. Ha ha ha, he really thought my old man didn't know English. Subsequently, the old man said with some regret, it's a pity. I only got into my freshman year. Otherwise, I would have wanted to find him as my son.in.law. Dad, Xia LV let out a coquettish cry and then said helplessly, why did you sell waste again? You even put waste in someone else's car. Do you have enough money to sell waste to wash their car? Hi, don't mention it. I gave him 50 and he didn't want it. After pushing for a while, he finally took me 20 and even delivered it directly to my doorstep. Such a great young man, I don't know whose girl will be cheaper in the future. Girl, if you don't mind, Dad will help you lead the line. Being a little older is really okay. Oh my, Dad. Xia LV stomped her feet and quickly walked towards the house, pulling the old man. You smell this smell on you, hurry home and take a shower. Returning home and taking a shower, Qin Feng opened WeChat and said strangely, it's been a whole day now, Aunt Song Qian didn't even come to me. Was it because she was too tired last night? So, Qin Feng took the initiative to send a message to Song Qian. Aunt Song, are you okay? This will, Xiaohingzi was lying on Song Qian's bed, vividly telling various stories about tourism with Song Qian, although Song Qian was somewhat absent-minded, she could only listen with cooperation. Ding! The phone prompt suddenly rings, Song Qian opened it and her face slightly changed, seeing Yingzi not paying attention to herself, I quickly replied, I'm fine. My daughter suddenly came back early and is chatting with me. I'll talk to you later. Has Yingzi returned? Seeing the information, Qin Feng remembered Xiao Yingzi, who was thin, weak, and almost driven crazy by Song Qian in the original drama, so, Qin Feng replied, okay, let's talk first. Put down your phone. Glancing at the spacious 1.8-meter bed, Qin Feng smiled and shook his head, it seems that tonight, I really need to fall asleep alone. Xuxiang Yayuan, underground garage, Tong Wenjie, who returned late, reversed her car and entered the warehouse, while on the phone, Fang Yuan, why haven't you come home yet? Can't you serve dim sum for your son's affairs? He will be in the 3rd grade soon. What is busyness? Just your broken company, where can you be so busy? Money doesn't have money, power doesn't have power. After working hard for a month, you can't even afford to support your wife and children. It's not Fang Yuan. How could you be so embarrassed to say me? Why did I come back late? Don't you know in your heart? If you're like Xiao Weidong, you never have to worry about food and drink in your assets. I'll do laundry, cook, and take care of your children at home every day, okay? I didn't earn much money, but my mouth is as hard as a duck's. Fang Yifan is so poor every day, it's just your inheritance. Dee. In the car, a reverse radar alarm suddenly sounded, but at this moment, Tong Wenjie was focused on arguing with Fang Yuan and didn't even notice the alarm sound. Let me tell you, I'm tired, I'm really tired. I've had enough of this exhausting life every day. Fang Yuan, I want to leave you. Duong. With a loud bang, startled, Tong Wenjie immediately turned back, seeing that she had collided with the rear car. Tong Wenjie immediately put on the handbrake and got off to check. At first glance, Tong Wenjie was dumbfounded. The black car I hit turned out to be a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, with the license plate still Beijing A66666. I carefully looked at the front face that had been flattened by myself. Tong Wenjie immediately panicked, Mom, how much will I have to pay for this collision? So, Tong Wenjie hurriedly asked, it's over, it's around. I crashed and dented everyone's front face. Crashed. As long as you're okay, if you're flat, you'll be flat. Please report for insurance. On the other end of the phone, Fang Yuan looked very calm and said, let me tell you, Tong Wenjie, our third-party insurance is 5 million yuan. As long as you don't hit a Rolls Royce, you can hit other cars casually. It's okay. Square and circle. Tong Wenjie sighed and then said helplessly, I hit a Rolls Royce, or that kind of large off-road vehicle. It seems like it's called a Cullinan. Ah. On the other end of the phone, Fang Yuan suddenly panicked.